Greetings and salutations, my fellow Illumineers. I'm your boy JDZ, and I'm back at you again with some more Procast, episode number 6. And we're going all the way to the Netherlands on this one. This is a full Dutch program, as we have the two-time DLC champion, Mr. Frank Karsten, is joining us today, as well as Mr. Rob, the first and only double qualified Illumineer this season so far. Gentlemen, welcome to the next episode of the Procast. We'll start with you, Frank. How are you feeling this weekend? It was a long weekend, and now we are back. Winterspell is upon us. How have you been?
I've been well. I enjoyed playing the Winterspell pre-release this past weekend, and yeah, played some games of Constructed as well. It's been fun to dive back into the game after a bit of a hiatus, but yeah, always fun.
Right on. Welcome back. Welcome back. And Rob, how was your weekend? Same goes. Anything new? Anything exciting happened for you?
Well, my weekend was completely exhausting. We went to Disneyland Paris to get one of those gorgeous playmats, but that did involve skipping a full night of sleep and driving about 12 hours after not sleeping. But fortunately, we managed to pick up a few playmats and some nice promos.
Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I think it's worth it. I think, you know what, Rob, you had me feeling kind of sad for you there for a little bit when you said you had a tough long weekend, but now I'm jealous. I don't feel bad for you at all. I think your weekend it seems remarkable. Going to Disneyland, standing in those lines, getting those mats. Does it look as good in person as it does in the pictures?
Even better, to be honest.
Okay.
Like, we make foil playmats ourselves, but this one is also super pretty. Like, all the kissy hearts and the Lorcana logo is completely foiled out, and the stitching is like in a matching red color. It's just awesome.
I'm glad they finally put the stitching on those mats, because that was one of my bigger issues. They don't put the stitching in every time when you use them. They start to de-thread a little bit, and it gets a little messy. Okay. But we're back though, and like you said, Frank, I'm glad to have you back in the realm of Disney Lorcana. If you guys are just tuning in, Winterspell did drop this weekend, and it was, at least in my area, there were a lot of people excited for it. It was the pre-release events, the trove parties, and the limited and sealed and draft. Frank, you said you had the opportunity to get back into it. I know you have a very prestigious background in Magic the Gathering, and in Magic, I know they have a pretty robust limited culture there. Did you feel some of that energy was kind of coming into Lorcana, playing limited and playing draft and playing those low or those limited formats?
I mean, from my perspective, already ever since the first chapter, limited has been my favorite way to play Lorcana. It's just fun to build your deck from like the packs you receive at an event, because it's always different, and I also like how it just tests your card evaluation, your adaptability. You have to do lots of on-the-fly decision making, and you need a strong grasp of all the fundamentals of the game, from like mulliganing to inking and sequencing, combat math and roll assessment, and yeah, limited tests that in an awesome way. So it has always been my favorite way to play the game. I think it's pretty skill intensive, and over the past few sets, I also feel like the developers have been spending a bit more time and resources into proper designs for limited, trying to pay better attention to the distribution of cards across ink costs at lower rarities, so that you can assemble like a reasonable ink curve, the number of uninkables, more playable effects, perhaps with some card draw attached at the lower rarities, and also incorporating some build around synergies, and that can be as simple as a couple common cards that care whether you have a Darkwing Duck character in play or not. and I don't feel like Winterspell is suddenly like a major shift from like the previous two sets. But bit by bit, they are moving in the right direction towards getting, an even better limited format. And I always enjoyed it from the start, and yeah, still do. At my pre-release, I went 6-0 and was like, well, I still got it. So
To
then,
no one's surprise.
so then I was inspired to, looking ahead. I also needed or like wanted to take like a week off as like a holiday. I was looking at flights and found like a very cheap flight to Taipei. So yeah, I booked for DLC Taipei because
Oh,
why
let's
not?
go.
So yeah,
Right on,
it was
man.
it was a good weekend overall.
That was a great weekend. But Rob, before we get into Frank's limited breakdown deck list, can you just give me some of your overall thoughts on limited and draft? Me personally, I didn't really enjoy the limited and draft experience in Lorcana previously, but Winters or Whispers in the Well, I really liked it a lot. In this set, it is my favorite so far. I had a lot of opportunity to do a draft this weekend, and it was so much fun because of all the reasons that Frank said. Just being able to actually build decks. We had a pretty small pool of players. We only had 6 players, but each person had a different unique deck with a different unique synergy that they were trying to build. So Rob, I'll kick it over to you. What are your thoughts on limited? Do you play a lot of limited? And when you do you enjoy the time that you spend playing limited? And
I love
why?
playing limited.
Okay.
Mostly pre-releases though. I like the general atmosphere it creates. Like everyone's just there to have a good time, play with their new friends, play with the new cards, help each other out. It is not as competitive in that scene. But when it comes to competitive play, I'm not as big a fan as Frank is. But that's probably mainly on me. I'm a bit of a grinder. When I
Mm-hmm.
prepare for a tournament, I like to get a bunch of reps in, like matchup wise, and like to go into depths like how does a matchup work, how do I win. In limited, it's much more to learn on the go, so to say, and I'll never get enough reps to actually be excellent at it, I don't think.
Mm.
But I do really enjoy playing a bunch of pre-releases normally. But I'm just getting too old to skip a night's sleep and then play a pre-release.
No, you gotta cut it out with the sleep, man. Rob, no more sleeping. We're gonna just stay up all night. We're gonna live young, and we're gonna never get old. Okay, that's the new mission. No more
Yeah,
sleep.
that's the dream, man. I'll start training now. 5 minutes fewer sleep every night.
There you go. See, that's the attitude we need to see. Okay, no more sleeping. All right. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But sleep is very important. But looking at limited, Frank, you said you played. Did you play draft or you played sealed?
Sealed,
Okay.
because pre-releases can be held as either pack rush or sealed deck,
Mm-hmm.
and sealed deck is the traditional way to go. I actually did enjoy, for the most part, sealed deck a bit more than draft in Lorcana previously, and part of the reason was that in draft you previously had to play 40 out of 48 cards,
Mm-hmm.
but the last few picks were typically filled with like unplayable uninkables, leading to somewhat of an awkward deck. And there also wasn't as much, like archetypes or like synergies to draft around. Now with Winterspell, they changed the rules so that
They
for
did.
draft, you only need to play 35 out of 48 cards, and that means that you can shave off some of your final picks, making the deck more well-rounded, and you will also assemble synergies more reliably. While at the same time, there's like more and more build-around themes at the lower rarities, making the draft format surely more fun. I haven't drafted this set yet, but I do believe and expect that yeah, it's getting more enjoyable, and I hope people
Yeah.
will give it a chance.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. What are some cards though? Now that we had a little bit of more time, I know that the set just came out and people can speculate early, and we talked about it a bit last week in the last episode. But now we're going into the next week, and we do have some full scale tournaments happening this weekend. One being DLC in Melbourne, and there are some other local tournaments happening here stateside and all over the world. But now that we've had a little bit more time to digest this new these new cards, this new format. Now we can kind of kick it around and see what are some cards that are kind of standing out, maybe even from that limited or sealed experience. And now you can kind of see them being played, or you've seen maybe in your own personal testing. What are some of the cards that have now started to stand out to you and are going to be those meta shaping cards that maybe weren't on the radar from before?
One of the cards that surprised me the most, I believe, was the purple's 4-drop Sven. It being uninkable, heavily contested slots with Genie. I really didn't feel like it would make any waves, but it's been surprisingly good. Um, the 5-drop Pete has not been as good as I expected, the blue one. I thought it would be like this major card drawing engine that was unbeatable. But it's not been as good as I expected it. It's a little slow. It doesn't really quest for too much. It's not that big of a threat, although it can get out of hand in the late game, of course.
Mm-hmm. Any other cards
Yeah,
that are jumping off? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course, everyone's favorite card, the Grandmother Willow, has been overperforming and doing as well as everyone expected it to.
Yeah, I will echo the thoughts on Sven. I saw it in action a little bit in Blurple decks. This is more like playing some games of Constructed than Limited, but there it performed better than I expected, and might even be worth the uninkable slots. Now, in terms of cards that weren't on my radar, I kind of cast a wide net when like the set came out, and it just brewed up a whole lot of decks,
Mm-hmm.
which used a variety of all the new cards. So I think it's more like which of all these cards that I put in some decks to try out actually performed well, rather than which cards did I not think about.
Okay.
But Rob already mentioned Grandmother Willow. That's certainly one of the standouts. I would also say Nani, the new 3-drop that, in a low curve deck reliably finds a card, also did quite well. Reasonable body, free card advantage, useful singer, and I think those two, the Willow and Nani, are actually the most important additions to a variety of Amber decks. In the context of Blurple, Let It Go, somewhat unsurprisingly, did a lot of good work, and I like the addition of that card to the deck. Pete, indeed, I never really cared too much about. I'm not sure if Pete is better or worse than Hades in a deck like that. Maybe in some situations it is, in other situations it is not. But yeah, not like suddenly like a major improvement by any means. Yeah, I tried like a whole bunch of other cards that weren't really there. From like let's say the new 1-drop Lilo alongside Pudge. It was nice, but was it really worth the card or like the build around cost? Somewhat doubtful. The like the boost characters in Emerald, there was like the new Donald Duck Fred Honeywell and Minnie Mouse Mrs. Cratchit. They were okay, but probably not worth building around in my first impression. While actually Chernabog, the 5-drop A Natural Force, did do a lot of good work. That's just when you can set it up and like plan for it. On turn 5, you get like a reasonable body and remove the best opposing character. Just need to make sure that nothing is sent to their discard beforehand, but with the right setup, well, it's a card that did some work. Yeah, like other things I tried, like the new 5-drop Pocahontas. that requires shift to prevent challenges for a turn required a bit too much setup. Likewise for the 7-drop. Todd knows all the tricks. There's all these sweet cards to build around that can certainly make for an awesome fun deck for a league night. But yeah, based on my initial impressions, probably not something I want to spend more time on in trying to perfect for upcoming premier tournaments.
Man, that's kind of heartbreaking to hear,
Yep.
man. Me as someone I
Well,
love.
that's always the case.
I know, man. I just want to see it, man, because I love the spice. I love the off meta decks. I love to see a deck that you see they come out with these really cool cards, and I feel like when a card is really cool and it's great design and it has a lot of thought that goes into it, I feel that there should be a way to get that card played somehow in a competitive fashion, and I want them all to do well. But to hear, hey, man, I tried it, it's not worth the time. I got to move on to try things. And obviously, as a pro player, that's where your priority must be. But for me, as an observer, as a fan of the game, that just breaks my heart to hear.
It is how it often goes with new sets, and it's actually always the fun part of just brewing up new decks around all the new cards and the synergies. But going into it, like you have to recognize always that most of the decks are just not going to pan out, and yeah, like 1 out of 10 ideas will actually turn out to be competitive enough to have a favorable win rate against like a normal competitive field.
Mm,
Mm. But
it's
still,
heartbreaking.
by trying like a whole bunch of new cards, you also see which ones work and which ones like don't work as well. And then yeah, you can also get the inspiration to use the ones that work, like say Grandmother Willow or Nani, in other decks, or like for example, I had a list with Christopher Robin, the new underdog, and I was like, yeah, this card is actually quite decent. Had some good experiences with that, so also now slotted in a bunch in like a purple steel, a more traditional like good stuff deck.
Hmm.
And yeah, by trying out a bunch of things with a lot of the new cards, you just get useful experiences.
Oh, very true. Any thoughts on that, Rob? Like trying new cards or building new decks, or are you just gonna always stick with the horse that got you there? Because I know you're a Blurple player, and I saw this post. I can't remember who wrote it, but they said the best card in Whispers in the Well, the best card in Whispers in the Well is Let It Go. That's what they said. And I was like, oh man, that breaks my heart that we got a reprint as the best card in the set. What do you think about that? Trying new decks, building new decks versus sticking with the tried and true deck that works the best, and don't even worry about the new cards.
Well, at the beginning of a new meta game, I imagine that sticking to the old guns is always good. That's something I expect for Melbourne. I don't think it's been long enough for anyone to actually break the formats. During the spoiler season, I was a little concerned about Eggo getting out of hand. I had really high hopes for Miko, the purple 1-drop that quests for 2 that makes you discard a card at the end of turn if it's exerted. I really thought that would be a really good Eggo card, especially combined with like a new 2-drop Pocahontas. It's also quite an aggressive card. I was also pretty concerned about like stuff like the green Mulan 2-drop questing super hard. As most people might know, I don't really fancy playing the really aggressive decks like Frank sometimes does. But I'm worried about them being really good because then I can't have the fun I want, like drawing a bunch of cards, dirtling around, and grinding incremental card advantage. But fortunately, I have not encountered these cards as much as I feared, so that's good for me. Um, in regards to the best card in the set, I'm not sure. Let It Go is definitely a good card, but I don't think it's the best one. It's a very safe option to pick for the best card. I mean,
Mm.
there's a lot more cards that could get their time in the sun. I was especially happily surprised with all like everyone trying the yellow blue ramp deck with like the new board wipe. What's it called? Uh,
Raging
Raging
Storm.
Storm.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the one. And I was very happy to see like a new card pretending to be my favorite card. Like Ohana means family is trying to do a really good Rapunzel impression, which is something I just love to do. Like I got crushed on the online platform by someone drawing 5 cards off of that, and I'm like, God, I hate it because I'm losing this game so hard, but I love what he's doing.
Yeah. I got blasted pretty hard in my draft event by Ohana. My opponent drew 5 from Ohana, and he had a damage, and I was like, oh no, he's gonna do it. And he challenges, gets another damage, plays this thing, draw 5. I lose immediately that game, but I ended up
Yeah,
winning.
there's no winning that one anymore, I think.
Yeah. But now you're on the
I
spot
also
though. I mean, if you say I got to throw you on the spot here, Rob. If you say that the best card in the set is not Let It Go, what is it? Okay, you got to have an answer. No, I don't knows. You're on the spotlight. This is your opinion. What is the best card, the number one best card in the set right now? Take it to the bank. This is coming in from Rob. Here we go.
Well, can I get back to that one like in like 10 minutes?
10
No,
minutes.
if we want a prediction right now, it's probably just going to be the really safe Grandmother Willow pick.
Okay.
But I'm
Okay.
really hoping, if that counts for anything, I'm really hoping it's Ohana means family. I would love for that card to be incredibly good.
Yeah.
That'd make my day.
It'll be nice. It'll be nice. Okay, Frank, you're
And
on the spot now. Now you're on the spot. We got Grandmother Willow already off the board. You cannot pick Grandmother Willow. Frank Karsten, you're on the spot. What is the best card in the set right now? With everything you know, no wrong answers. This is your opinion only. Best card in the set. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to define best card, but if we go by most important new addition to what I expect the most popular deck to become, then yeah, it would be Let It Go, which is boring. Otherwise, yeah, I'll throw in the Nani, the 3-drop, as a nice pairing with Grandmother Willow for a variety of Amber decks. They go well together, and yeah, already I
Sick.
gave some praises there.
Okay.
As for like, it's nice that some people are enjoying to play online. It's something that I don't really do.
Mm-hmm.
When I said I did a bit of testing, I just put decks together and then like play them for 2 games against some decks that I expect to be popular, against like a gauntlet in the metagame, like Blurple as a control deck, Purple Steel as like a mid-range deck, and then I guess Dogs as sort of an aggro deck. And by playing, novel brews for say 2 games each against myself on those decks, I immediately get like a good sense of what works and what doesn't. And by doing it with like physical
Mm-hmm.
cards, you also get a better opportunity to like take it slow and evaluate certain things, go through certain what if scenarios, and yeah, like focus on the learning rather than just jamming games. And I find I learn more in a very short amount of time that way than with any other testing approach.
Okay. Is that something you guys do frequently? Because I've heard that before, like people just playing against themselves with 2 different decks. How do you stay objective to that? Like, how do you because sometimes your opponent can do tricks or they can make bluffs and they can do these kind of things that really make this game special. So how do you kind of mitigate that and not try to like shortcut yourself in that experience and make it more realistic as possible?
And generally speaking, I know or like have at least like a probability distribution over what the opponent has in hand, and
Mm-hmm.
like make my plays based on that. Um, when it's just about seeing certain new cards in action and evaluating their strength, it doesn't really matter all that much whether you are making the perfect plays or not. And yeah, when just trying out certain things, it's not about the match results of like who wins or who loses.
Mm.
It also comes a bit with experience in like not necessarily um, like compartmentalizing the information on what you have like seen in the opponent's hand as like someone who plays both sides versus the probability distribution over what you actually know based on the information from the previous turns and how they have been playing so far.
Mm.
But yeah, if you wanted to like actually derive useful results from it, in terms of like testing two top tier decks against each other, you have to be honest, and then the approach also is not as valuable because you will learn also more when you are playing versus someone else at the same time.
Oh, sick. Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm thinking about trying this. Rob, do you do this too? I'm thinking about doing this, man. I'm already getting a headache. Just trying to think about playing against myself. I don't think I can pull it off. I think I'll be too unfair to myself, possibly. What do you do this as well?
I actually don't really.
Mm-hmm.
Like as I said before, I like to grind. I like to get a bunch reps in. So I do play a lot online, but I don't really like it as much as in-person playing. But I just like to get a bunch of games to see all the different lines, see how they pan out, see how other players or decks might respond to it, and just get a general feel for all the matchups. But the most valuable testing I do is just with other high quality players. For instance, the teammates, and like I'm welcoming Frank to my house tomorrow evening to do some actual live testing. And I think like that's probably the most valuable testing you can get in.
Mm-hmm. Like just
Yeah.
getting your grind on and playing a lot. Okay, having a mass approach. But I like to hear that there are two different ways to do it, and both you guys are very accomplished players. So certainly they work. Whatever works best for you is probably the goal to take away. Find a way to get in a nice volume of games to see a bunch of different things. Set yourself up in complex scenarios, and then you can start to grow from that. I think is the overarching statement of how you prepare. I love to hear that, man. This is nice. Thank you for sharing. Look at that. That's what you guys get
Anytime.
for kicking it with the pros. You learn how to test and you learn how to get better. Play a bunch, but also don't just play for no reason. Play with a purpose. Play with like an intent of something needs to be discovered. Like you're trying to learn something with because you're just playing. Frank, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're just playing 1,000 games with no goal in mind, I don't know if that's as beneficial as saying, okay, I'm gonna play this 1,000 games, but I'm trying to test this card, I'm trying to develop this deck, or I'm trying to grab this amount of information. Is that would you agree with that, or would you disagree with that, or any game they all matter?
I mean, any game can help,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, like personally, I don't play many games,
Yeah.
and I would rather sit down for 2 hours to play a single game and talk about like every single small decision with another experienced player, rather than just jamming games in quick succession, because I learn far more from those
Okay.
discussions on every single decision, and I think that is also what I might recommend to players looking to prepare for upcoming events. Just not just jam games, but have like be able to set yourself up to learn as much as possible from every game, either through discussions with the opponent in game or by say recording it and reviewing it afterwards, or like if you want to test a certain deck, make sure that you set up sort of a schedule or plan with another player. Like, hey, I want to play against this, and this deck. So let's do a couple games each of every matchup, alternating play and draw, and yeah, like trying to learn from that so that you don't miss out on certain important matchups. Because figuring all that out is more important than just jamming raw games, because it's it doesn't matter whether you win or lose in those test games. What matters is if you come out of every game with new lessons and insights.
Sick.
The last I definitely agree on. Like during testing, winning or losing is not as relevant. You could go 10-0 in wins and still feel like your deck is not good enough. Getting the interactions down, getting the matchups sorted out is way more important. And while I do like to grind a bunch of games, like I think it's like 75% of my preparation is grinding a bunch of games, but by far the most important last 25% is to play against actual skilled players. I feel like just grinding random ladders and random local tournaments gives you a very skewed perception of what a matchup can be like. A very good example of that was like the old Bucky versus Purple Red matchup. Like if you're playing Bucky and you're playing a random red purple player, it would feel like a buy. But as soon as you got a very experienced pilot, it changed the matchup drastically. It was so much different. So I feel like if you're trying to win a tournament, preparing against the most skilled opponents, seeing how they approach the matchup, seeing how you would approach the matchup makes the world of difference. Which is also something I like to do. I like to play like matchups from all ends. So I like to play all the decks during my grinding. I just play like 5 or 10 games of something during a night and feel like I got a bit of a feeling how another deck would want to beat my deck, so to say.
Okay. I like this, man. This is really helpful. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this stuff, because this is some great information, and I love to hear the pros approach to this entire thing, because this is something that I'm sure a lot of players who are trying to ascend to that next level, these are things that they struggle with mightily. I actually have a question coming in from the chat. Happy Marky is coming through. For someone who took a break last set, what is the easier deck to get into right now? I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. I have my thoughts and opinions on that as someone who I play quite a bit myself, probably not on the level you guys play, but what are your guys' thoughts? I know, Frank, you say you took a quick break. Rob, you've been grinding Sapphire Amethyst this whole time. If someone came to you guys and said, hey, I want to get into Lorcana today, or I just took a break, what deck should I play? What would you tell them? We'll start with you, Frank, and then we'll kick it over to Rob.
So if this is, and I think Marky already knows the game quite well. Like for a player who already knows the game quite reasonably, I would suggest Blurple as a deck that I find relatively straightforward to play. It often takes a control role and like on both play and draw, and it has like a typical looking for ramp approach in mulligans and early turns. And apart from that, it's curving out with haymakers and removing the opponent's characters. I think if a completely new player would be asking the question, I would rather suggest a deck without any interaction, whose game plan is to just quest out ahead. So some sort of Ember, might even be Ember Amethyst aggro deck with lots of heavy questers, just because that sort of game plan is a little bit more straightforward. But otherwise, I've actually been impressed with the new Blurple builds, and well, new is like in quotation marks. I also sort of took a break, and like these new builds with Cheshire Cat and Demona looked far more reliable to me than what it was back in set 9, where you have just more coherent plays across the curve. Even if you miss ramp, you still have a turn 3 Cheshire Cat, which does something. There's like fewer uninkables or like super high drops, and it's just more well-rounded all in all. Adding in the addition of Let It Go, I think it's just a solid deck that is relatively easy to pick up and play to a good level.
Okay. You get that. Hopefully that answered your question, and thank you for asking it. You want to add anything to that, Rob? If you had to play, I know you're going to play, say Blurple or Blurple's banned for you. What would you lean into? Maybe what Frank is saying, maybe like an aggro deck. I like Amethyst Steel. I think I go the opposite way of Frank, and I know a lot of people may disagree with me and agree with Frank. I go the opposite way. I want to encourage players to get a full issue of what the game has, like to use all the mechanics. I want them to be able to sing songs. I want them to be able to use actions. I want them to be able to play characters on curve and know when to challenge and contest the board. And I think those skills are going to be evident, made very evident in Amethyst Steel. I think they can do a lot of things very well. I think the deck is rather complicated and complex, but on its surface, explain, hey, this is how the curve works, and now you have to learn how to challenge, you have to learn how to quest, and I think it's going to be a steep learning curve, but once they get it, they're going to get better much quicker, and I think that's going to be a better use of their time.
I agree, actually, for all the reasons you mentioned. I think it's slightly different. It is an answer to a slightly different question. That would be the question, not just what is an easy deck to, or like a convenient deck to pick up, but rather like what is a deck that will help me get better and like understand all the fundamentals of Lorcana that you can then later on translate into like any decks in the coming years. Then I think Purple Steel is a good pick for all the reasons you mentioned.
For sure.
But it can be a little tricky to just pick up and play, because you like things change often quite drastically based on play or draw. The mulligan approach can depend on your exact deck list in terms of how you distribute the curve, and there are a lot of onboard decisions in terms of like finding the perfect time to quest or challenge, or how to play around opponents' cards that leads to a bit of a learning curve. But it is perhaps one of the best ways to just get better at the game of Lorcana, and has all the features that make the game stand out.
Right. Yeah, because I've seen that happen before. Like a newer player might come to the store, and like a lot of people, they'll start playing aggro when they first join in, and then they'll get wins, and then they'll start to lose a lot because people figure out their deck, they'll figure out the limitations that the deck has, and they'll start to counter them, and then they'll start to lose a lot, and then they become more discouraged because they don't necessarily have the tools, not even for their own skill level, but just the tools in their deck or the capability of their deck. They don't get the wins they want, and they become discouraged, and sometimes they can get swept away, or they move away from the game, or they just because no one likes to just lose all the time, and then once the losses start to pile up, then they become discouraged. Whereas if you give them something that is a bit more difficult with a little bit more reach, it might be harder, but then once they start to identify these are plays that when I do this, I lose. When I do this, I have a better chance to win. They learn that way, and they get a lot better faster, and it feels like they've accomplished something, and then they have something to work towards, and they're more likely to stick around to the game. At least that's my goal. I want more people to play and have success, whatever their success level might be. Maybe not two-time DLC champion or double qualified over here, Mr. Guys, but hey, winning a local tournament might be someone's goal, and I think that's there's nothing wrong with that either.
You have to start with a reasonably attainable goal, and then take it from there, step by step.
Sick.
Yeah, I agree. If you're betting Blurple for me, then I don't know how to answer this question. No, just kidding, of course. For Marky's question specifically, I think something proactive is very good to play. And the latest iterations of Blurple are very proactive. So I agree with Frank that it's a good call. The previous iterations were a lot more passive and reactive. The current ones have changed that quite a bit. But if you're banning Blurple for me, then I would probably go for a more aggressive strategy that tries to limit the amount of challenging that they do. So Amber Steel might be a good call. I mean, you have some removal spells, but you're leaning heavily into like a Tiana plan where it's making it hard for them to answer you. Basically, the old mindset of make them answer it, make them have it, breaks in there, I believe.
Yeah.
But generally, for like if just a random player asks me like what should I be playing, my answer is always the same. Play the deck you like the most. Playing the deck that you like not only gives you more joy playing the game, even if you're losing slightly more, but playing a deck that you love also makes you or allows you to play more games with it, and playing more games with it makes you better at playing the deck. And like as long as you're picking one of the established or quote unquote good decks, it doesn't really matter too much which one you're playing because like the percentage are not that far off. Just being an excellent pilot at your deck probably makes a lot more different than picking a deck that's slightly better in the meta game or slightly better for a tournament. If you're new at the deck, if you have a bunch of time, like, well, I'm going to be name dropping here, but like if like Tiago here is playing like a million games, sure, he knows how to play all of them. He can metagame. He can be like, oh, for this tournament, this one's probably slightly better, and he's also excellent at that deck. Sure, you get to score some points there. But if you're not, not if you don't have like an unlimited amount of time available, probably just pick the one that you like the best and that you're comfortable playing a bunch of games with.
I like that answer. Man, you guys are solid, dude. Man, that's why you guys are here, man. You're getting the real talk from the pros, okay? You can't get this anywhere else. So make sure you lock in. And I'm glad you guys are all out there and checking it out, man. Tell your friends to come on in and get some of this information too, because this is really good stuff and you're gonna help a lot of people get a lot better. But you mentioned Amber Steel. Like Amber Steel, to me, I haven't seen that deck anywhere. I thought it was gonna be one of these meta busting strategies that was gonna come and get supercharged because of all of the new cards that have been added into this like an Amber Steel aggressive deck, or maybe his mid-range shell, and it kind of has fallen away from me. What is going on with that deck, Rob? We'll kick it to you since you mentioned it, and kick it to Frank. Where has that deck been, and what is going on with the Amber and Steel strategy? Is it still going to be tier 1? Is it tier 2? Where are you putting Amber Steel, and where has it been?
That's a good question. I think it's going to be better than in the last meta game. Um, but in the previous metagame, I think it fell off a little bit because as far as aggressive deck goes, I believe that Dogs was slightly better suited for the metagame. I think Dogs might have also been better into the Amber Steel matchup because it's just slightly better at challenging. There was a time when Blurple was a fair bit slower and had different answers, where the Amber Steel deck would be able to prey upon it being a little slower. With the addition or like 4 Into the Unknowns in every deck and like a bunch of Iagos that are able to take out the Tiana quite cleanly, I think the game plan fell off a little bit. And also, basically just simply because of Frank, like he popularized Amethyst Steel like a bunch. I think that's also not like the best matchup for Amber Steel. So I think it just dropped off a little bit, but I do think it's gonna creep up a little bit more. Like Grandmother Willow is excellent, the new Lilo is excellent. If there's a place for it, the new Angel 4-drop is also quite good. Even the Amber Angel 2-drop, which is has the underdog ability, is quite good. So I do see some hope for the archetype for sure, and it has always been a very fun deck for me. Like when it was Amber Steel Songs, it was my jam. Not as much now, but it's still okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I think there's a world where like a more of a mid-range Amber Steel deck could be quite viable. They have some great new additions, like you mentioned, the Angel, the Akud et Amuti, the Nani that Frank Karsten so high on. You still have Beyond Horizon available. You have the Hairless Thunderbolt available. You have the new Aerial Whisper, Ethereal Voice character that is a draw engine. You have that new Surfer Stitch. Certainly, you can't tell me there aren't enough good Amber and Steel mid-range cards to make that a viable deck. I just don't believe it. There's got to be, right, Frank? Tell me I'm wrong, please.
No, there is. I actually tried a sort of a Amber Steel song deck after I think after I started with like an sort of an alien song build, featuring indeed Angel. I then found that like most of the alien typal cards were not really worth building around, but the core of like the new Angels, along with some song payoffs, did seem decent and brought back memories of also the Steel Song deck that I loved before the rotation. I I think there is something viable in there that can contend with the metagame in a competitive sense. But when I played some games with it against myself, I was like even more impressed with the Willow and the Nani, and felt that those cards would ultimately work better in a more aggressive build of the archetype. And yeah, like I do think that a variety of Amber decks can actually like go under Blurple, just defeat them based on raw
Mm-hmm.
speed, even though Blurple indeed got some like relevant new tools. As Rob mentioned, all the Ember decks also gain like both a burst of speed and some like resiliency in the late game. So I actually send you a couple lists, JDZ, on like a variety of Ember aggro decks that I built. I'm not sure if you can show those, but if so, I can highlight their potential, because yeah, when I'm looking at the upcoming DLCs that I plan to play, I fully agree with Rob that you always have to play something that you enjoy. And for me, for example, the Sapphire decks, not really my preferred style. So I'd rather play something else. Obviously, Purple Steel will be a decent option, as I know the archetype well. I don't think I'm particularly responsible for its popularity, but well, maybe it did help that I won a big tournament with it. But yeah, beyond that, I also see the potential in a variety of aggressive Amber decks, if, as I anticipate, Blurple will become a big part of the metagame, and whether that's going to be with Emerald, in like a traditional dogs plan, where I'll note that I felt that the addition of the new like Lilo and Stitch angle was probably not worth it, or as like an Ember Steel build that well, this is, I think, Tiago's list from last week. I would build it quite quite different, to be fair. Um, I yeah, I'm not much of a believer in fire the cannons, for example, because I don't
Mm-hmm.
like situational uninkables. I still like Tiana as a massive threat. Sure, opponents may have answers, but well, if they don't, then you can just run away with the game. The Angel is a card with potential, though I'm not sure how many of them you want if you just have like 4 songs in the deck. Pudge, not sure if that's worth a card, but on the whole, the overarching strategy is still like quite powerful, and when you can go wide with like your Willow, uh, find Doc with Nani to keep the gas on. Um, if like the Raging Fire, sweep the board decks become popular, then you at least can get back a bunch of Lilos from the discard. Um, yeah, I also still like the Rhino Shift package
Yeah.
as a way to potentially break serve against other more aggressively oriented decks. even the Horseman Strikes as a removal effect if Blurple is popular. So yeah, I would build it a little different, but I still see the potential for such a deck, and whether that or like a Dogs build or even Ember Amethyst with the new 2-drop Pocahontas is going to work out. I don't really know yet, but yeah, all of those are reasonable options to test, I would say.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna lean on you guys. I want to see it happen. Okay, I'll put my faith, I'll put my trust, and I'll put my pixie dust that Frank, maybe not so much Rob. Okay, because Rob's blurple through and through. He's not gonna get off of it. I'm not gonna hold him to it. But I think there is an Amber Steel deck that's gonna come and shock the metagame. I feel it in my heart. The cards are too good. They're too ready. I think it's gonna be time. Amber Steel song is coming back. Believe it. You guys can take it to the bank. But Rob, you mentioned there was another question. I didn't see it pop in, but I do see it now, and we're going to swing it right on back to that question. Shout out to Sormit. Sormit says, "You always have your favorite deck, but what makes you hate a specific deck?" I got a great answer for this question. Okay, I got a great, and you guys kind of already alluded to some of these things, and maybe hate is a strong word. But matches that I don't want to play against, I think is very preferred. And there are certain decks that I just never want to see my opponent playing. And what makes you hate your opponent's deck? We'll start with you, Rob. When you see your opponent playing your most hated strategy, what makes that so? Okay, is it the style of that deck, or what is it? What is the reason why you would hate a deck?
Yeah, I guess it's generally the style of the deck. It will come to no one's surprise that I like dirtling around and drawing a bunch of cards. If my opponent's deck makes that a unfeasible strategy, makes that strategy unable to interact with it, then I probably won't like it as much. A fair example of that might be like the Amethyst Amber Burn deck in the current formats or the past formats. Like, it's just so hard to interact with those cards. Especially if what I'm trying to do is draw a bunch of cards and ramp a bunch, and you're just trying to like get to 20 lore in 5 turns. I'm like, let me play my game, man. So yeah, there's never going to be like a deck that I honestly dislike playing against or dislike in the formats. But generally, the less interactive decks are not my favorite. I like interacting a bunch, like a lot of micro decisions, slightly longer games to have, well, more time playing Lorcana, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I know it doesn't mean like, but on the inverse of that, would you ever, two-part question, would you ever see yourself playing that deck, maybe in a tournament or for fun or for whatever reason? Would you ever load that deck up, a deck that you despise? Like Frank says, he doesn't like Sapphire, is not his strategy. Would you ever find yourself playing one of these Amethyst, Emerald, Burn decks or something like that, Rob?
Oh yes, I would.
Okay.
Like, as much as I like playing Blurple, I also love to just meme around at local set champs and stuff.
Okay.
I try to challenge myself to play a different deck at every set champ, and I do play a bunch of them. So sometimes I just play like 8 of those tournaments, and then yeah, of course you're going to be looking for more decks, and then I'll generally I'll find the set champ where the most competitive players are all playing Blurple and try to meme around with the uninteractable deck that I would hate playing against myself.
Perfect. I like that. It's a good answer. Good answer. Solid answer. All right, Frank, what about you? What is a deck that you do not like to play against, if any? And what would you ever consider yourself playing that deck in a tournament, no matter the size? Like, what if you sit down and you see your opponent and they ink one color and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. Is there a deck like that that exists in Lorcana? And would you see yourself playing that deck ever in a tournament?
Yeah, nothing specifically comes to mind other than perhaps dogs with Emerald Chromicon, because I remember it just broke my brain trying to go through all
Literal smoke was
the
coming from his
permutations.
ears.
It was yeah, it was just too much. Though I mean, it is actually like a fun puzzle, and I have actually played dogs at a tournament myself before. So no, the game allows for anything.
Okay, okay. Would you ever so you have played dogs, you have done it. Me, I'm telling you, it's blue green all the time, and I've played blue green in tournaments. But whenever I see it, and I'm just like, oh, here we go with this, dude. It's gonna be a long. I know it's gonna take a long time. They're gonna be wiping my board. It's just so gonna be so obnoxious, and Clarabelle's gonna shift. We're gonna sing "You're Welcome," and here we go again every single time, man. That is my. I think that's gonna be my one deck. But I will play it. I have played it before, and it's very powerful too. So I like that. I like that a lot. So play whatever deck you want, but you know every deck is going to have its people who really like it, and it's people who are going to be against every strategy. Everyone has their own little teams, and I think that makes the game quite interesting too, I would say. Okay, cool. All right, so that frees up the questions, but I have another subject we're going to talk about. I think it's the last subject that we're going to kind of get into, as there is going to be a DLC that is coming up. It's going to be in Australia. I don't want to leak too much too soon. I don't even know if I should talk about this right now, but I'm going to be at that DLC. I'm going there. Okay. And we'll see how that goes for me, but I will be there. I know you gentlemen probably won't be making it to this one. Frank, you're going to Taiwan. Rob, I know you're going to Ghent. Frank, you're also going to Ghent as well. So, Australia is going to be the very first look at what is happening in the Whispers in the Well. Meta is very early, and I know over in Australia, maybe their meta takes a little more time to wind up, but there's a lot of great players that are going to be going to Australia. So I kind of wanted to pick your guys' brain now and do some predictions and talk about what we expect to see in DLC in Australia, what we expect to convert into the top portion, what we expect to get into the top 8, and ultimately what we expect to win going into DLC Australia, and what that means for the meta at large, because I think that is a very critical moment. I know a lot of people will have eyes on Australia, and what is going to happen there will kind of start to dictate what goes on for the rest of the meta. So we'll kind of open it up, and we'll say predictions. DLC Australia, what is going to be the most second and third represented decks? No, we'll go all the way down to 4. We'll go to top 4 represented decks, and why. We'll kick it to you, Frank, again, starting with you, right in the hot seat. The top 4 represented decks, DLC Australia. No wrong answers. Okay, I'm going to record this, and then I'm going to be able to pull it up later. So when you're wrong or right, we'll be able to look back on it. Actually, I'm gonna write it down. Let's take some notes. I'm gonna write it down and see if you're right, and or if you're wrong. Again, it doesn't matter. But what do you think, Frank?
So I haven't really given the metagame any thought, honestly. Also note that I don't play online, so I'm just going off of
Pure
decks
vibes.
that I built for myself as like relevant to play against or like try out. Before the addition of Winterspell, I believe that Blurple and Amethyst Steel were among the most popular options, with dogs in there as well. And all 3 decks got relevant additions from the newest set. With, I mean, for Purple Steel, nothing particularly too relevant, but like in my build, I'm trying out a whole bunch of new cards, and I like the Christopher Robin underdog. As well as there's just like a whole bunch of options. That said, for first place or like most played deck, I will go with Blurple. As I mentioned, I think it is just a well-rounded, strong strategy that gains something definitely relevant in Let It Go. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be like, I don't know, maybe 20-25% of the metagame, most played deck. I don't actually know what the few World Class Cards members who are traveling to the tournament are playing. But yeah, I do know that DKP wrote like an entire guide on Blurple, at least for set 10. So well, there's a lot of experience within him. If I were him, I would just play that. But again, I haven't really talked about that, and don't know what he is planning to do. Second place, I will put still at Amethyst Steel. because it remains also a strong deck that did win a DLC this season, so can't really go wrong with that. And third place, I will put it at the dogs because it is seemingly the most obvious home for the powerful grandmother Willow, since she not only reduces the cost of like all the characters, but also additionally of Tramp by having an extra character on the board. And fourth place, the other category.
The other, you think goes all the way down to other after the dogs?
I mean,
no respect, this guy. No respect.
Other is going to be it's. So you think? Okay, I like that take though. I think that's a hot take.
I don't think that like the Amber Steel or Amber Amethyst brews that I might be trying are going to form a large part of the metagame. I don't even know if they are gonna hold up in testing this week. I mean, I saw some people talk about the yellow-blue new control deck. Maybe that will put up some numbers. It's just not something that I really was interested in because not really my style. So I have not played a game with or against it. Maybe there's something else that I don't know, is seeing a lot of play online or like in discussions, but I can't really think of anything from the top of my head at this point.
Okay. So I think that's a safe bet. So for your prediction, you have Blurple as number 1, Purple Steel number 2, 3 is the dogs, Amber and Emerald, 4 is other. Okay, so I think that's a solid pick, safe pick, easy pick. But Rob, tell him why he's wrong and tell him why your picks are going to be right. And I'm gonna see who's gonna be closer in the end. So I'll put Rob's over here, and I'll put Frank's over here, and then I'll put mine somewhere else. Okay, Rob, what do you think is gonna be the list? I'll leave Frank's up there.
Oh.
You kind of got an advantage because you get to go second, which I think is already unfair. But we'll take it from there.
Oh, I could actually if you need something, you could actually put in green, blue.
No,
okay.
That's the one you forgot. No,
I kind of missed the previous DLC, but then we at least have like all the winners of the European or American DLCs this season so far in the list. I think that makes sense. Even though Green Blue didn't really gain anything of note from the latest set, but that's maybe why it's in fourth place. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's safe. That's a safe. I like that. It looks very reminiscent to what we've had for some time now. So I wouldn't be shocked or surprised if this is where we ended up. So what do you think though, Rob? Any changes here? Are you going the same as Frank? Are you taking the same energy as Frank here for your top 4, or are there any shocks that you're going to have, or do you want to rotate the numbers a little bit?
Well, I felt very clearly that I was going to win this one before he finally remembered green blue. So that was a bit of a letdown. So I'm basically going to go with this top 4 as well, but I'm going to change the numbers up.
Okay.
I'm going to be very boring though, but Blurple's going to be the number 1 for sure.
Okay.
It's been consistently good. It's changed the game plan to be more proactive, so it's better suited for many players. But with Blurple being so good, I cannot put Purple Steel in the second place, I don't think.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Dogs second.
Okay.
I think a lot of players will enjoy playing a more aggressive strategy, especially with like the Blurple deck pushing out Purple Steel a little bit, and Dogs being good against Blurple. After that, I'm going to be very, very boring and being Purple Steel and then Green Blue.
That's fair. I'm fine with it. I mean, this is your prediction.
I do want to give like 2 shout outs for archetypes. I mean, I believe like Amber Sapphire and Amber Amethyst are going to do really well.
Okay, you think they might? That's going to bring it to the next question. Now, Frank was on the hot seat on that last question. Now it's going to be you on the hot seat on this question. So we have these are going to be the most played decks in the event, is what you guys agree. I'm gonna save this so after the event is over, we can bring this back up and I can show you if you're right or if you're wrong. So it's gonna be kind of fun. But now, oh crap, undo. So now what we can do is we're starting with you this time, Rob. We're going into the top 8. Okay, what is the top 8 going to look like? This is prediction time. You gotta see if you can nail it. Let's see if you can get it right. What are the top 8 deck lists going to look like? We'll start with you this time, Rob.
There's going to be 3 Blurple decks in there.
3, okay. 5 more.
There's going to be 1 Sapphire Ember deck in there.
Okay, hot picks. I like it.
There's going to be 1 Purple Steel in there.
1 Purple Steel makes it in. Okay.
There's going to be... breaking my balls here. There's going to be 2 dog players in there.
2 dogs, okay. All right, 2 dogs. Oh, dude,
There's going to be 1 green-blue player.
All right, 1 green-blue.
That fills it up, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is it. You got 8 now.
No, I'm gonna have to cut 1 Blurple player to get a Amber Amethyst in there.
Dude, if you get this right, that's gonna be Amber Amethyst. Okay, so
yes, sir.
Yellow Yerple, dude. We call that Yerple. There you go. How's that? If you nail this, dude, that's gonna be so that's gonna be so epic. If you knock this out of the park 100%. You're the GOAT forever. There's no way this is gonna be right. I love it though. I like it. So one Amethyst Amber, 1 green blue, 2 dogs, 1 purple steel, 1 yellow blue, 2 Blurple, stone cold lock. I love it. Frank, what is gonna be in the top 8? Now you have what Rob's working with. You can use his and kind of lean on that a little bit, or you can go your own way.
Before I start on that, what is Yerple seems like a terrible name, but
you think Yerple's a terrible name? Wait, hold, Frank. We got to stop right there. Let's stop it right there. We're gonna stop the Yerple slander right now, right here, right now. Okay, we can't say Blurple and we can't say Yerple. Okay, if it's Blurple, it's Yerple, yellow purple. Come on, man. No, you're not doing
with with Blurple, you at least have the overlap in the letter U in both ink color names.
Okay.
And with Yerple, you cannot really
just get
do
the
that.
Y. All you get is the Y.
That for me is the dividing line where it's acceptable or not.
I concur.
All right. What are we gonna call it? We're gonna call it Yamethyst. We're gonna call it Yamethyst. What are you gonna call it then? We can't call it yellow purple.
Amber Amethyst.
No, that's too long. Look what you were saying. Amber Amethyst. That's too much. It's gotta be Yerple. Just feels good, man. It feels right. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, fine. If character length is an issue, then I don't have immediately a better.
Okay.
Can we just go AA?
AA, but now you gotta. Is it Amber? Is it I guess AA might work. AA could work. AA is fair, but I don't know. It could be confusing somewhere.
My main question was what kind of deck do you have in mind for that? Is this a Daisy Duck into 2-drop Pocahontas into Tiana into Genie sort of hyper aggro deck, or what does this mean?
I feel like you're trying to restrict my top 8 even more by even specifying what's in the colors. So you're basically trying to scam me out of winning here.
You can cast a wide net. It can encompass all versions. I'm just curious.
I think it's going to be like a 60 singleton card deck encompassing all the strategies in the 2 colors. No, in all seriousness, I think it's going to be basically they're going to be like a Blurple deck, but they're going to replace the ramp with lanterns and Grandmother Willows. And I believe that their removal suite is quite good, like the Greatest Criminal Minds and what's it called, Headless Horseman Strikes or something like that.
Yeah, Horseman Strikes, Greatest Criminal Mind. Yep.
Just combined with all the good purple cards, I feel like that's the strategy that people are going to like playing. And of course, they're going to play my favorite card, Ohana.
Yeah, and they can also play the Monstro. The Monstrous Whale combo still is very
The
viable.
combo is optional there, yes, for sure.
Yeah. So it could it could potentially work. That could potentially
Why,
work.
why
Okay.
would you do that when like Sapphire gives you inkable 2 cost ramp and Amber gives you uninkable 2 cost ramp?
I'm not saying that they're right and certainly going to do it.
They're gonna.
Okay.
I know you gotta talk. You
Um,
gotta talk to. I've seen people. This
I
Monstro
mean,
thing.
I literally thought of such a deck, and I kind of discarded the idea for this reason, thinking that like Sapphire would just be better due to inkability.
Mhm.
But well, maybe if people are like actually playing this sort of deck or trying it out, then yeah, maybe it has a large enough metagame representation to make it to the top 8, and perhaps you are right on the removal options. I think the Headless Horseman seems to be fairly well positioned. So, well, there might be some merit in that sort of build that I didn't really consider. But no.
Okay.
Well, interesting.
And the
I also
Monstro-
think that
Yeah.
something to keep in mind, though, is like I think the Australian metagame is going to be a little bit weird because we're playing like the weekend right after the release, and card availability is quite an issue there, I believe.
Mm.
So people might be looking at weirder options because that's the cards they have and they like playing.
Very true. I didn't even think about that. Like just getting the product and being able to have access to the newer cards and then in time to try to test it. Granted, there will be vendors and things of that sort there. So that is that might be an issue. That's a great point. I don't know if that's going to affect your top 8 here, Frank. Knowing that information, maybe it might just be a set 10 extension and just kind of go back to what we've been doing this entire time. But what do you think is going to be in that top 8, Frank? You got see your top 4 play decks. Is that going to be a translation over to what you think is going to make it to the top 8? Or will there be some shock and awe? Will somebody come in with the spice? Ruby Amber? Maybe you get some Amber Steel slides in there. A little bit of yellow
yeah.
blue. Bellow? People been calling that
so-
one. I know you don't like. I don't like Bellow either, do you? No chance you like Bellow. If you don't like Yerple, you're not liking Bellow. No chance.
Mm.
Okay, we're trying.
Bellow is already an English word with a with a meaning that has nothing to do with that particular deck, I think. So I will start with 3 Blurple.
3 Blurple. Okay, I like that.
Expect that it is not only going to be the most played deck, but also one of the best performing. So it will, bet above average. I'll put down 1 purple steel. I think if you build it right with enough heavy questers, you can actually find a favorable matchup against Blurple. But I think most players will, for whatever reason, not build it that way and falter in this expected field of Blurple. I'll put on 1 dogs. Fine deck will be there. I'll also put down 1 Ember Steel, some sort of aggro strategy most likely, but perhaps a more mid-range song build. I mean, if I can cast a wide net with with a color pairing, this will be in there as well. Green blue, I'm like it didn't really gain much of relevance, so my initial impression is that it will not really like even though it won the previous DLC, it may not do as well as decks that actually gained a lot. But maybe did green blue actually have like a favorable matchup against Blurple?
Yes.
Yeah,
I believe Fungus
Then-
felt like he was farming it.
All right, so then put in 1 because the ways to beat Blurple or like the
I mean,
ways.
no, it has a terrible matchup against Blurple. I don't want to help you.
No, I mean like generally speaking, the way to beat a deck is either to go like way faster than it, and I reckon that like dogs or Emperor Steel can be built in that way, or to just keep pace with it, but then go over the top in the late game. And I guess that green blue is capable of doing that. Whereas a deck that is slightly slower than Blurple, like a slower build of purple steel, will struggle because then Blurple just keeps pace with it until like taking over in the late game with more powerful like card draw or character effects. So yeah, if green blue is one of the key ways to go over the top of Blurple, then that should be good. Thinking about this new yellow blue deck, might that have a favorable matchup against Blurple or not? I have no immediate clue about that because I have never thought about that matchup, but I have to reckon that given that like yellow blue has so many board sweepers, I'm not sure that excels against like a semi-slow deck that doesn't need to like get on board with like a whole enormous amount of characters. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Like if yellow blue would match up well against Blurple, then it will surely do well. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not so not so sure.
I would assume it. I would assume it would. I would assume if you're playing yellow blue, the reason you would play yellow blue is to try to beat Blurple. Like, what would be the point to play it otherwise? What are you beating if you can't? If you can't confidently beat Blurple, because you're not beating aggro. Like you're going to lose to that one probably more often than not. I would assume, unless you get to like Spooky Sight in time, and you're probably not going to have even the more mid range decks might be able to combat you with their questing. Like if you can't beat Blurple, what's the point of playing it? You might as well leave it at the house at that point. I think. I don't know. Rob's being super quiet. He's like, I don't want to talk about this. I see you, Rob.
I don't want to help Frank anymore.
Okay, you're right.
I'm not sure. I think that the opinions on the matchup are very divided.
Yeah.
I think one of the key cards that determines the outcome of the matchup is like the Cauldron. The Cauldron allows the yellow-blue deck to grind even harder, and that might be the Vanillin Blurple Coffin. But I do agree, like just the random board wipe, it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, Blurple's going to refill the hand anyway, so I'm not that scared of that. But maybe the mid-range plan in combination with ramping really hard and like Horseman Strikes to get the tempo out of Blurple sails, that might work.
Okay.
Yeah, like this whole idea of the Black Cauldron. I'm already thinking, yeah, this is a game I'm not interested in playing. Let me just play my early drops and quest, and all the control players can go over the top of each other. No, but I can imagine how you can build the deck in a way to like somehow clinch a favorable.
JD,
matchup.
can I spice things up a little bit?
Please.
Oh, sure. One yellow blue. Yeah.
One yellow blue. Okay.
If I get my top 8 right, then I would like to see Frank play a yellow blue mirror against me on the next podcast.
Let's set it up. Let's set that. If Frank, you got to agree to this. I love this. If we got to lock it in right now, and everyone at home, you guys are viewing this as well live. You're tuned in. If Rob goes 100% accurate on his top 8, we get a Rob versus Frank mirror match, yellow-blue mirror match. And it might take 3 hours to get that match done.
Oh, no, that's game one. That's game one.
Might take... Okay, I'll do the broadcast. I'll set it all up. I'll do the broadcast, and we'll get that going for the viewers at home. I think it'll be funny to see. And Frank would probably not be having the most amount of fun, I would say.
Yeah, well, I think the odds of getting the top 8 exact right is so low that sure I'll agree to that. It could certainly be worse. It reminds me of how someone in Magic the Gathering once said that yeah, this player cannot win the next tournament again. That's just so unlikely. If it happens, I'll eat my hat. And yeah, sure enough, he was reaching for the ketchup and
Oh,
scissors soon after. So if it means just playing a matchup that is not really my style, it could be way worse. So I'll happily agree to that.
okay, okay. Set it up. You guys heard it here. And I just for that reason, I hope this happens, Rob. I do agree with Frank. It's going to be very unlikely to hit this 100% accurate, but if it does happen, I think it'll be great to see that go down. But this is it. And one more question to end this off. Okay, we have our top 8, we have our most played decks. What is going to win? Okay, what is going to be number one? We can kind of consensus for both of you guys, unless you have something different. We'll start with you, Frank, this time. What's winning?
Blurple.
Blurple's winning. Okay. How about you, Rob?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree.
Okay.
Blurple.
Okay. So both players have Blurple winning the DLC in Melbourne. I hope you guys are wrong. Okay. I hope Blurple goes down, crashes and burns, and I hope the Australian metagame is out there cooking and they come up with a new hot deck and both you guys are wildly off because I just want to see something new. No offense. I'm done with Blurple. Let's get some new colors in here. Let's get some new cards in here, and let's make this thing a reality. But I think that's it. Okay, so this was a great episode right here. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. We're gonna start to wrap this up. But for you guys who are just tuning in, who are out here live and direct, I just got permission to give away. We're gonna give away 4 Winterspell boxes. Okay, we're gonna give away 4 boxes of
You're
Winterspell.
you're forgetting one big chapter though. You're forgetting one thing before we go to giveaways.
What's that?
Happy birthday, man.
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you. I
All right.
appreciate that.
Congratulations.
Today is in fact my birthday. Thank you so much. It does feel great to be older, but I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So how we're going to do these giveaways? I tried to come up with a creative way to do it, but I don't think it's going to work. We're going to try this again, Rob, as I think this is just too hilarious to not try. I'm going to send this over to you guys. If it doesn't work, then I might have to do it myself, and I don't want to do it myself. I want the pros to do it because I think the whole idea of this is just too funny. So I'm going to try this again. I'm going to send a link let's see, nope, that's not going to work. All right, give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. I'm doing this live. This is all happening live. Thank you guys for your patience. I do appreciate it. All right. So I'm going to send you this link. I'm going to send one to Frank and then one to Rob. Actually, both you guys can click on the same link, but then you just send me one back. Okay. So I'll put it into the Discord chat here. Oh, Frank, and I just got those deck lists you posted. I thought you sent it to me in DMs and I missed it. I just checked it now. So we're going to try this again. If you can click this and open it up and then send me that link that's in the top right corner, I'm going to see if this opens and I can plug this into the stream. Because what I want you guys to do, I want you guys to draw a picture of a card and I want the audience to guess what that card is. If they get it right, they win the giveaway. I think that's very clean, very simple, very easy. All right, so all you have to do is click on that link, and then at the top right corner, there's going to be another link. There you go, Rob, you sent yours, so I have yours. Let's see if it opens this time, because it didn't open for me the previous time, and it might not be opening again. Let's try it in a different browser. Maybe the different browser could help. Sorry, we're doing this live. Thank you guys for the patience. We're working this out as we go. Build it as you fly kind of thing. Hopefully this works. All right, so let's get this. I'll copy the text. And then let's go ahead and hit here. And I'll paste this here. Let's see if that works. Or maybe I
Right.
could.
Should I start drawing?
Wait, not yet. Okay. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get it to work because it may not work, unfortunately, because of the internet. I'm not sure why it's being so difficult, but it is. Okay. All right, let's try this.
if you're managing to do it, would it be okay if I went first and then went to bed?
Oh! You know what? I'm so sorry, I forgot how late it was over there. If
No, no,
if
no,
it
don't
does
worry,
work,
don't worry.
I'm gonna try it. If it doesn't work immediately, I can cut this short and we can figure out a different way to do this because I think this was just a dream I had and it might not be working. It's not gonna work. It seemed like it's
I
having some
do think
issues.
it's like one of the best ways to do it, though. Like if
It
you can get
is.
it working, that'd be awesome.
Man, it seemed like it's gonna be a lot of fun, but it's not gonna work. At least it's not working right now because it's just giving the spinning
Technically,
wheel.
I could just share my screen. I can just
It's-
share my screen if you want.
It's giving the spinning wheel of death. Oh yeah, you could do that. If you can share your screen, I could potentially throw that up here as well. Because the one I had going is not working. All right, this could work. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Are you sharing your screen in Discord right now?
I am.
Or if you share your screen where your face cam is, that could work as well. So just change your camera to your screen or share your screen in the video thing that we have there, if that makes sense.
Let me try.
We're cooking. We're doing this. The things we do for love, okay? Is that? Oh, this is working. What is that? What did you just do there? All right. You might have
Sorry,
to go.
I'm not sure. What are you seeing right now?
All right, right now I'm seeing it right there. Whatever you just did, leave it just like that, and this can work. Okay. All right.
You're seeing my white screen right now, right?
I see your white screen now, so this is gonna work. This is gonna work.
Perfect.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful stuff here. All right, Rob screen. All right, Rob, we got you. All right, here we go. We're coming in live. This is it. All right, so Rob, let's see if it pops in. Come on, internet. There we go. Okay, so Rob, I have your screen on the computer right now. So everyone at home watching, if you guys want this giveaway, Rob is going to draw a card via mouse and hand. Granted, it's very late and he's super tired, okay? So this is going to be bad. So that means you need to lock in extra hard to guess what this is. And if you guess first, then you get the box, okay? We're going to do this a few times. We're going to have Rob do 2. Frank's going to do 2. Are you guys cool with that? We'll have Rob go first, Frank go second. Cool?
Yeah,
All right.
sounds good.
All right. Do you need me to pick a card or are you going to pick one for yourself? Hold on. You can't.
Oh yeah. So yeah, sorry, can't switch. My bad.
If you switch, it's gonna send us to the Matrix. Okay, we can't do that.
You give me a card.
All right, I'll give you a card. I'll DM it to you. Okay. All right. This is gonna be let me see. Okay. I got a card coming in for you. All right. Let's see. I'll send it to you in messages. All right. So your card is going to be. All right. All right. There we go. I just typed it in the chat. This is your first card right here, Rob. If you can pull it off.
Oh God.
All right. Let's go. Okay, Frank. Perfect. All right, here we go. You guys locked in. Here we go. Shark is ready. Who's ready? Here it's happening. The first person that can guess what it is, you win. The ink, the color is a throw off. Okay, we got to use black and white because I think that might be.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that soon. I'm gonna do it soon. I think this is accurate.
I know, but I think your ink is coming in red.
For those of you that don't know, I'm super colorblind.
Ah, okay. Okay. The color is indiscriminate. Yo, and we got a winner already. Dueler wins immediately. Rob, you're so good. I thought you were bad at this. You crushed this.
That is how good I am, man. I'm super colorblind. I still crushed it.
Yo, we got our winner. Dueler is winner of box number 1. Okay, so that's Dueler winner. Box number 1. Make sure you reach out in the Discord and you can get your box. Okay. Talk to Scameron and Scameron's going to set that up. Shout out to Dueler. All right, Dueler, you can't win again though. You're eliminated. Okay. So Dueler's out. All right. So now you clear this one. You're still going. I love it. That's so good. That's so good.
Thank you, sir.
It's like perfect. All right.
Okay, I killed it now. I killed it. It's
All right.
okay.
All right. All
We'll
right. All
start
right.
over.
All right. All right. Your next one. Let's get another one. Let's get another one going. Okay.
Yes,
Your
let's
next
go.
one. All right. I'm gonna make it hard for you because that one seemed a bit too easy. I'll make a challenge for you. All right. Let's go with. All right. Here we go. Oh, I'm about to type it in the wrong chat. Oh my goodness, I almost gave
Yeah,
the answer.
I was going to say, like, I see no instructions.
Oh, here we go.
Instructions unclear.
All right, there we go. There it is. That's coming to you, Rob. That's coming to you, Rob. You see it?
Yeah, let me select the right colors.
I think colors is cheating. Okay, a little bit, but it's fine. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I'll let you cook. I think I'd do black and white. Black and white makes it more difficult.
Black and white, yeah, sure.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, remember, you guess, you get it.
In that case, I'm going to start with black backgrounds.
All right, perfect. With white. There we go. Dog, this is really good. Rob, you might need a new job, man. You might need to do this full time. This is so good. This is so good. I love the focus. I love the concentration.
Yeah, I cannot choose my push to talk and do this at the same
time.
time.
You're good. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm commentating.
Okay.
Oh, this is so nice. Yo, Scamron, you can't win.
Did someone get it? What?
Yes,
so fast?
Yes, someone got it.
Wow.
Scamron got it, but Scamron, you can't win. How are you going to win and be a part of the giveaway?
I'm the best artist ever. God.
Dude, that was amazing, dude. 10 out of 10. Let's pull it up for reference really quick so we can see who got it. But that was pretty good, man. That was good. I knew it right away. As soon as you did it, obviously I knew what it was. But as soon as you threw the arm in there, and you drew you're drawing the enchanted version too, which makes
you're giving me cards of enchanted sets, makes it much easier. Those arts are so much more like outspoken and like big on the card.
That's nice.
I love enchanted. I know all of them.
All right, so that's 2 down. Scamron, you might have to get disqualified. We might have to give it to the next person up. Okay, Scamron, you might have to get disqualified. You can't win.
Disqualify him right now. I mean, I love the guy, but he can't win.
Disqualified for Scamron, so we're going to kick it over to Vader Llama. Sorry, Scamron, you're on the inside. You can't win. I'm so sorry. That's just how it is. You're out. Vader Llama is in. Easy win for Vader Llama. All right. So now it's time for Frank to draw. And if you need to get some rest,
if you don't mind, I'm gonna have you have a really nice birthday.
Thank you so much.
Take a drink on me, and I'll see you in Ghent soon. I hope.
I wish. I can't make it to Ghent this time. I couldn't make it. I had some life circumstances happen. I can't go to Ghent, unfortunately. But I will be in Dortmund. Brazil. I'm coming to Brazil for sure. 100%. I'll be there. All right, Rob. But before you leave, any other shout outs you want to have, or anything else you want to say?
No, thank you all for watching. It's been a blast. Apparently, I'm a much better artist than I thought I was. And Frank, I'll see you in the blue-yellow mirror match soon.
Okay, perfect.
See you.
All right.
Good night, Jill. Thanks.
All right, and that is Rob.
Yeah.
Okay, so
did you
now,
close my window yet, sir?
Let me get your window down. Okay, so you can close that, and then I will get Frank's in here. Frank, can you do what he just did and just share your screen into that same thing? If that's possible, or you can share your Discord too. Your Discord is totally fine as well.
I was sharing the screen on Discord. With
perfect.
That
is even better. No issue at all. We can use this, no problemo. Let me just do this. I'll do this, and then here, put this here. All right, and there's your board, and then I will just make this whole thing a little bit bigger. Like that. So now, Frank, you got. I know you're a competitive guy. Rob is going to be hard to clear.
Not so much in drawing. I'll say. But,
okay.
Who knows?
All right. Oh, okay. I see what you're cooking. Give me a quick sec to move this over here. All right. And see the gases start to flow in. Yo, Frank's kind of cooking. Frank might be better. Oh, it's so good. How are you guys so good at this? This is actually super impressive. All right, all right. It's not Fishbone Quill. Yo, this is like perfect. How are you guys not getting this? Yo, Georgian. Oh, I see Lorcana BC, but you just said mouse. That's not fair. We got too many mouses, too many mice in this game. Okay,
It has
so
to
I
be
gotta
somewhat specific.
give it to Georgian. I think Georgian wins. Georgian won. Timothy Q Mouse, they nailed it. This is Frank. This is perfect.
Yep.
Someone should frame this. This is perfect. This is actual perfection right here. This is so good. That's like 10 out of 10. This is perfect. You nailed it. You nailed it. All right, so that's Georgian.
This is the card that indeed won me the final game of the DLC in Milwaukee. So definitely has a good spot in my heart.
Okay. All right,
let's do another.
Your next one.
Let me tell you which one it is.
All right, tell me what it is. Tell me what you feel. Tell me what you're feeling.
Okay, so let's
clear
perfect. This.
Perfect. Okay. Here it is. So this is for the last giveaway right here. This is the last giveaway right here. So far, we have 3 winners. 3 winners right here. And this is for the last one. Make sure you get your guesses in soon.
All right. How are we starting with this? Okay, let's...
Okay. Okay. Yo! Let's go. Sorry. The arms, dude. The arms. Okay. Yo.
I clicked on the wrong thing.
Oh, we have some guesses coming in though. JMBN, but you have to say which one though. You got it in first. That was first, but you have to say which one. And do not take Shark's answer because Shark is incorrect. Okay, Shark is incorrect.
I'm gonna try again, though.
Okay.
It will be hard to top like the artistic mastery that I started off with.
Oh, you hit clear instead of erase?
Yeah. I wanted to redo like an arm, but then I indeed clicked on the wrong
oh no
button.
Yo, oh, we have an answer. We have an answer. We got Bach to Lin. Bach to Lin. Richest duck of the world, in the world. I think we got to count that. What do you think, Frank? Do you count that?
That's all right. That's pretty clear.
I think JMBN should get something. You guys might have to split that. There might have to be a split right there because I think she gave you enough. Okay, we'll have to see. What they can do. But we do have it, and that is the correct answer. This is Scrooge McDuck, richest duck in the world, and I think this drawing is a 10 out of 10. In fact, Frank, don't erase it just yet. I'm gonna pull up the let's pull up the card beside it. Do a little side by side to see how close you actually are, because I think you kind of got 100%. Let's see. Yeah,
I mean, I don't see an actual difference.
Yeah, there's no difference here. This is like actual perfection right here. I mean, I honestly am shocked that how close you got this. It's like actual perfect. It's like a carbon copy, man. It's like you took a copy paper. It's actually perfect, like the ratio and everything. All right, so that's 10 out of 10. I love that. But Frank, I think that's the episode, man. I think we had a great time. We learned a lot. We laughed a lot. We had a blast. But before we start to close out the show, is there anything that you want to say? Any shout outs you want to give, or anything you want to call attention to?
Well, just thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you, JDZ, for being with us on your birthday. I hope you're gonna have an awesome trip to Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that some World Class Card members are also on their way to Australia, trying to take it down. And I wish them all the best of luck. Besides that, I'm just looking forward to some awesome weeks coming up in this new metagame.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be awesome.
And I think you'll be there setting the tone and setting the pace for what this meta is going to be like. And I also want to thank you and commend you for your work you're doing for Disney Lorcana. I love reading your articles that you're putting up on the website. They're always so well written and they just contain so much information. So thank you for everything you do, not only for World Class Cards and for, you know, the whole trading card game space, but specifically Disney Lorcana and the community at large. We truly appreciate your efforts, man. So please keep it up if you can. And it means a lot to a lot of people. So thank you for that.
Always my pleasure. And yeah, I'll also praise the designers for like improving the limited format bit by bit. I have always been publishing sort of tier lists for every set on TCG Player, and then some, you know, shorter pre-release guides with some insights on how to build a seal deck for Ravensburger now. And I hope that with some of those tips and insights, everyone can take down some of their limited, whether it's sealed or draft or whatever you like, tournaments coming up.
Sick. So hopefully you guys at home watching this in the now or in the future, hopefully you learned something, you enjoyed your time here with the pros, and make sure you guys continue to follow the program and keep joining in and tell your friends that this is something that is available to them if they feel so inclined. But with that, we're going to go ahead and start to wrap it up. And until next time, I'm not sure when the next week, maybe we can do next Tuesday as well. I think we'll all be back from our travels and we could talk about that. So next episode should be around the next Tuesday timeline if we can get that going. So until then, I'm JDZ. I'm on a quest. This is the Procast episode number 6. Until next week, peace.